That's John Wick's mindset, the negative though.
I've just fucking thrown...
Annihilated the universe.
Oh my god.
You heard of 2012, kids. You've heard of the Infinity Gauntlet.
Just threw my Infinity Gauntlet on the floor.
Oh god.
Oh no, it's angry. I'll put it back.
Get down.
Get down. Come on.
Why is it working? Why isn't it snapping?
Hello and welcome to 1 hour and 48 minutes remaining to Disc Space. That's not the name of it. It's No Bubble Podcast, episode 244. 244?
I want to say 246. Don't know.
I want to say 247,000. I'm really gonna have to look at that Disc Space. Anyway, welcome back. Or for the first time, or, you know...
Hopefully not the last.
Or, yeah, hopefully not the last. Or no one's listening at all! Unless you are Andros Essa from Pasty Sheep in Space!
Andros Essa. Me from the year 3000.
How have you been?
I'm still recovering from that video.
It's funny, though. Yeah.
It was fucking great.
Because I, like, for the first time, like, I actually re-listened to it. Like, the beginning of it when we talked about Power Rangers. I was like, this is quite banterous. And then
Banterlicious.
Our good friend Mike had sent us
anonymously. Yeah, we didn't know that weren't scripted. We didn't know he was going to do that. I didn't know he used Photoshop.
Like, challenge accepted, and had edited you as Andros. You
look long hair
because you look a bit like Taylor Lautner from fucking Twilight.
I suppose I did. Yeah,
as Andros, and I was Zane in Power Rangers in Space, but the Pasty Sheep edition. So that was a fun little thing. Thank you, Michael.
Very funny.
Very
amusing.
I believe we're having him on after Power Rangers Once Forever Future King.
30th
I'm definitely still a Power Ranger. Billy Yost. Is that the name?
Yes.
Yes.
30th anniversary documentary / feature thing. Let's get the date.
Right now.
I feel like it today.
He's here. He's hanging outside. I'm knocking on the window, Guillermo.
19th of April 2023. It's his first episode, but I'm sure it's a feature length.
I imagine if it was just here's all the Power Rangers episodes again, but it's old people.
The Infinity Gauntlet got excited by that.
Yeah, so it's phased out of reality.
Jesus.
Just like we have. Phasing to the news. Dun 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 dun.
Dun 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 makes it official.
Yeah, it's the stinger.
Dun 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 dun.
How's your week been? Before we get into the main stuff, because Connor's going to talk about John Wick.
What am I going to talk about? What am I contracted to? What am I NDA disclosed to talk about? Yeah, a certain Wick came back for the 4th time. Only 4 years waiting, and if you googled the score and seen the hype, and you just look at the trailer and go, God damn, you want to see a movie. In a nutshell, go and see John Wick 4. Sort of believe everything you're saying. I'll go into detail as to why. I'm still in the middle of currently writing my first Letterboxd review. It's that special to me that I actually went on an app that's totally alien to me.
Yeah, you're now using Letterboxd.
Yeah, and going forward, I will try to put... I wanted, ideally my first 3, because you sort of view people's profiles in 3. I want my first 3 to be, personal favourites of mine, 3, 5 stars, and then I can just go randomly.
Yeah, go randomly, either new releases or going back on stuff you haven't seen.
I could be predictable in the sense that if I'm in a franchise mood, you might see me just do, say, John Wick 1, 2, 3, 4, for example. But I thought, no, because I've done John Wick 4 first, technically, I'm just going to do whatever I feel like writing for something. Even though I haven't seen it, I'm just going to get my thoughts out on the app. But with those, you can share and, interact with people on there, and it is just another step to becoming, a professional film reviewer and connoisseur, because, you're there on an app, and it's not just films though, isn't it? It's films, TV, and
TV,
anything
crayons,
technical. Crayon. What is Letterboxd?
Because you can have friends and then sort of
follow each other,
view each other's lists of what they reviewed, and it gives you your rankings of your films of the year or favourites or whatever and stuff.
Yeah, you can bracket it's like playlists. You can put them in different brackets. Yeah, director rankings. Yeah, films you love 3 stars, trilogies, whatever. I'll give a shout out to Mike's John Wick 2 review, because I did listen to his silver screen John Wick 1 review, and oh boy, he just didn't like the first one, and I felt disheartened.
Why,
man?
I like it. Because we were saying before, because we have a sort of a pre-podcast where we just
ramble about stuff. Yeah.
I like all of those films. That franchise has fantastic returns. Like it's
It's goddamn consistent.
each time the budget goes up, more money is made. The
Mm.
quality continues to go up. The storytelling, I think, for me is it's all perfect for me for the second one because everyone kind of is in the groove, knows what they're doing, and it does a lot of what the first one does really well, but more.
Yeah.
And
Bigger, better.
and doesn't.
Mm.
I feel like 3 takes some choices to sort of appeal more to a general audience, but that's just me. But I still love 3. I think 3 is a very well made action movie, and by all accounts, including yours, 4 surpasses even that. So I look forward to being able to catch chapter 4 when I can. But we will get to Connor's review on chapter 4
in a bit.
a
Yeah.
little bit later on, because we're just going to do the bit where here's the shit that's happened in the last week, or maybe a bit longer, and we just haven't got round to it.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Just like the Andalorian. I'm still behind on Mandalorian.
You're so far behind on Mandalorian.
I've not seen past episode 1. The return that we've been waiting for, season 2's ending, was like John Wick 4, phenomenal. And
Phenomenal.
season 3, episode 1 happened. What, 4? I don't know. How many episodes are we in now?
4,
What week is
5 tomorrow.
5 tomorrow. So
Chapter
week
20
4
dropped last Wednesday.
Yeah, so I've got 4 episodes back, and I just thought it was okay. I mean, I was excited. I was hyped for Mandalorian season 3, but I saw it, and there's no inkling in me to go, I need to watch it.
You've had so much Pedro Pascal being the
A bit too much.
adoptive daddy that you're like, I can't do it again.
Not
I need a break.
Not so soon.
I need a bit of a break to get over Joel.
Yeah. And Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. And that movie. Yeah.
I could watch that all the time. I would say, obviously, like we sort of briefly spoke about when Mandalorian started, my thing was I didn't want it to get boring.
No.
Because I feel like it was a bit of a cop-out for Book of Boba Fett. The fact that took away from that.
It did.
Bless
you.
Thank you. The fact that we basically got 2 episodes of Mandalorian in
Book of Boba Fett, yeah.
So it was a bit let down, but what are you gonna do? But so far, I feel like I know where we're sort of heading on this journey, but it could be the season that either some people fall off of it, or some people sort of stick with it and push through. Because the best way I can describe it is like the farm season on Walking Dead. Like, I feel like there's stuff's going on. We know stuff's happening, but we don't really know where we're going right now.
Yeah, right. There's no references to the First Order then, as such. There's no.
They've set up,
and
this isn't a spoiler because there's probably been articles on this. And it was briefly alluded to at the very beginning, in the very first episode, and sort of bits throughout Mando season 1 and 2, that they will use the Mandalorian to explain the creation of Snoke.
I've seen that as well. Yeah.
The 3rd episode does a lot with that. Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Almost Mandalorian light. It's kind of like it's a focus on those other characters,
those other people. Yeah.
The people that may or may not have used similar things to try and create a being with lots of midichlorians.
The midichlorians.
Because Grogu is alluded to be, born of a cloning process.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We get to see the Order 66 again. That was last week. We saw that again.
Was Ahmed Best in Order 66? Because I see his poster. He's back, and the praise for that man. That's all I know about him in season 3.
Do you want to know the honest truth?
Was he in Order 66? Did he survive Order 66?
Ahmed Best.
Yeah.
Turns out was in the prequels twice because he is. I forget the Jedi's name, but he is a Jedi in Order 66 that rescues Grogu.
Oh, so he's in a way responsible for why we got it.
Ahmed Best is responsible for our happiness. It's not
our happiness, yes.
Because he posted on Instagram after the episode, and he was like, I'm just kind of getting over this, like, so much, love and appreciation, like, thank you, because this is a man, Ahmed Best, if you don't know, in 1999, he motion captured and voiced Jar Jar Binks.
Misa!
In the prequel trilogy, a character that was not so gently phased out of the trilogy.
Multiversally hated as well, and just
heaps of hate
appalling.
and appalling behaviour from I
Yeah.
get, a very childish character.
Yeah.
But had we possibly gone down the route that because Jar Jar was the key to all this, if we make Jar Jar work,
was key to all this.
there's the theories that Darth
Jar
Jar Jar,
Yeah.
he was pulling the strings the whole time, and possibly we'd have gone down that route had the backlash not had forced George Lucas to kind of go, and now we'll just sort of gently pull him out to the point where he has like one speaking line in Clones,
He had
and then he's in like the background of a couple of shots in 3, yeah. And Ahmed Best nearly took his own life from the abuse he was getting, both for the performance and obviously because people are so narrow-minded racially as well.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That's what people do. We can't have any nice things. We just got to be assholes. Evil bastards.
Evil.
But we got some reprieve because he I know a lot of people said he doesn't need any redemption. It's like, no, he doesn't, but it's also nice for him to be in a thing where everyone's gone, oh my god, it's Ahmed Best in a Star Wars thing, and he's in complete live action. He's just playing a Jedi Master. We get another flashback of the
Order 66.
Order 66, what was happening to
Is
Grogu.
it like that shot from the last season when we see, very briefly, the clone troopers above Grogu, and then, I don't know, was there people in the hoods, but you don't, because it then cuts away from that?
You basically see the whole sequence.
That's what I mean. It's that sequence, but extended.
He's getting saved, he's in his crib pod thing, going to the elevator. The Jedi that's defending him to get him in, that's killed. They're closing in on the elevator as it closes. And then the door just opens from the other side, and it's Ahmed Best. He's like, "Don't worry, kid," and gets him out of it, gets him on a speeder, and it's a really nice little sequence.
Nice.
It opens the door for some more Ahmed Best in this Mandalorian timeline, wherever it goes.
Yeah. Right.
Which would be nice. And it means in the last year we've had Ewan McGregor, Liam Neeson, Ahmed Best. We've had
Hayden Christensen back as Vader. Yeah.
We've had almost, apart from Natalie Portman, we've had the cast of Phantom Menace
back.
So so that's
cool.
It's nice that he's getting some love. For a role
after all these years. Yeah.
So check out the newest episode of The Mandalorian.
Brilliant. And there's still 8 episodes, is there? 8? It's been 8 in every season?
Yes, so what we're...
you said
4 more?
Okay,
including
right,
tomorrow's.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Decent.
Yeah.
Oh.
Something that isn't decent...
Oh, boo! Who's been an asshole this week?
It's on the Marvel side.
Oh! How could they? Mickey Mouse, wait till Mickey hears about this.
Well, Kang might have been conquering the quantum realm.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this?
I did. Oh boy.
Jonathan Major's been arrested apparently on charges of strangulation, assault, and harassment. His attorney has said he's looking forward to clearing his name. He's done nothing wrong. All of that is kind of
out
dear.
of nowhere.
Oh dear!
Yeah.
Just when you was doing something that was.
Are we sure
good.
this is the real Jonathan Majors? This isn't just a variant. That's sort of swap places with him.
It's a variant that's taken.
Are we actually sure about that?
100%.
Are we sure about that?
Obviously, with these accusations, you can't, you don't take them lightly. So
no.
whoever,
like I said to him, like I said to George off camera, these sort of accusations.
You said to Jonathan Majors,
I said to Mr.
Jonathan,
Majors,
you can't be doing this.
It will stick to your name, damn it. No, but these sort of conversations, whether you're true or proven false, these kind of things are very hard in today's digital age to get. Yeah, they're on you for life. They are.
So that's that's a shame. Hopefully, the situations get resolved. If not, you could just recast Kang. So it'll just be a shame after we've had that. It's a bit of a Jonathan Majors thing happening. And
Major
it's all good.
Renaissance. Yeah,
dear. But we shall see. Speaking of arseholes at Marvel, see what I did there.
Oh.
Victoria Alonso.
Oh dear.
Who was a producer for Marvel Studios. Now, she is notably not one of the main people. You've got Luis Desposito, Kevin Feige. You've got a few others in there that are regulars throughout the productions of the films and the shows and whatnot. So she was a producer at Marvel Studios who was reportedly she'd left, but she's now reportedly saying she was fired
Yeah.
as she continued to work on and promote Argentina 1985 after she was told not to. This violates Disney's standards of business conduct that states employees do not work for competing studios. So she's working on something else while obviously still working on Marvel films at the time. I think it was Wakanda Forever. Was the thing she was working on at the time.
Okay, right. Fair
But
enough.
this is also the same woman that has said there were too many women in the X-Men.
Oh,
And so
dear.
when the
Bring up
X-Men
the past.
were to come back,
Charles.
they're the future Charles, not them. That she would that maybe they would have to sort of have less girls in it. She says something
Thin
like,
out the herd.
it's in a press junket somewhere. Go and look it up. She's a bit of a twat.
Oh dear. Not a
I
Marvel
for
twat.
I for one am glad she's not in it in terms of the fact that maybe we're just we're not letting bad voices build up. We're clearing
Right.
some out. Obviously, it's a shame she's lost her job, but she's got production companies and studios and stuff that will give her work that she will do probably very little for and get paid a tremendous amount. So
Amen to that. Yeah.
and by all accounts of her, she's a bit, not really with it in terms of how can you say there's too many girls in the X-Men? But
Jean, Rogue, Kitty Pryde.
and that's it for the main ones for a lot of the comics.
Ta-da! There we go. Too many
Jubilee
people.
in the background.
Yeah, Jubilee. Yeah, Jean, Jubilee, Rogue, Kitty Pryde. What ones are girls? I can't think of any mainstream girl.
Raven, but then she's
Right, yeah.
she's fucking
Mystique.
Brotherhood of
Yeah,
Ian McKellen's bitches.
apocalyptic bitches.
Apocalyptic Ian McKellen.
Yes. Charles. Yeah,
It's my son. It's my son, Charles.
it's my son.
Ever since I showed you that clip, that's my favourite thing to ever come out
It's
of.
my James McAvoy as well. It's my son.
It's my son.
It's my son.
It's my son. But yeah, she's gone. Will that have an impact going forward? Probably not.
No, not
because
too significant.
I just hope it doesn't mean that Kevin Feige's got to pick up another job to do because it's still a lot. Some happy news from Marvel.
Happy.
Relating to the TVA possible plot and the fact that it links into Quantumania, that Owen Wilson is reportedly officially in Deadpool 3.
Oh my god! I
Because
didn't know that.
TVA is reported to be part of the
that's
plot.
part of the
That he
plot,
goes
yeah.
back, gets a Wolverine from a timeline, the TVA intercept, and that's how we get the crossovers and sort of goodbye to the Fox
era.
branded Marvel
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Which I'm here for, in terms of it will be a piss take, a chapter close, and a bit of a wink and a nod to the audience to go.
Yeah. Thank you for sticking.
Maybe we'll see him in Secret Wars. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, skink, skink. Snick, snick, sorry. Skink, skink.
Skink.
What a bastard! Have you seen? The Incredible Hulk's still with Universal.
Believe it or not, I didn't believe that situation changed. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're trying. I think they're going to trade something to try and get the rights back this year or whatever, so we get a actual full-on Hulk movie without any complications.
When you say something as in like another character,
Yeah,
we'll
because-
take your Hulk for your Blue Eyes White Dragon over there.
Well, because they traded Ego the Living Planet from
Yeah,
because that
that's
was a
right.
Fox thing.
Yeah.
They traded that to some Guardians of the Galaxy, and in return they could do whatever they wanted to Negasonic Teenage Warhead's power set. They could sort of adapt it to sort of be like this, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, you do that. We'll take Ego." I think it was the same for the Skrull, because the Skrulls are in a grey area as well, just like Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, because they obviously have two worlds: mutant and Avengers.
Avengers. Yeah. One of them being more of an Avenger than the other.
But do you know how you make a Hulk movie, Connor? You put Hulk characters, in a film and give it a different name, like Captain America: The New World Order.
Who would have funked that?
Because we're obviously getting General Ross.
Yeah.
This time
Red
played
Hulk.
by Harrison Ford, and possibly
US president.
possibly the post-credit scene is teasing a Red Hulk. But I think
Dun, dun, dun.
please don't make Harrison Ford do mocap. Because one, he won't do it, which means it'll be so disconnected when it's a different person. Like when it's Lou
Different actor.
Ferrigno playing mocap Red
Harrison
Hulk.
Ford.
Oh my god. Mike, fucking edit Lou Ferrigno's face into every Harrison Ford
Ford
part. I want him on Air Force One, the Millennium Falcon, the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. No, but Liv Tyler is reportedly returning as Betty Ross in
And
Captain
I
America:
say,
New World
cool.
Order.
I'm happy for that. Cool.
Which Yeah, because
Long overdue.
Hulk's obviously the forgotten film. From Civil War onwards, it's been sort of more connected. No, this is important. Like, this story did
It
happen, and
matter,
it's
yeah.
it's an integral part to the reason why this universe exists, and this character is very important. And and I still love the fact that in What If they did the halfway house of it was Ruffalo, but sort of Norton.
Sort of Norton,
but
yeah.
was
They had
obviously
that
voiced by
blend.
Ruffalo to give more of the connect to that. So, maybe we'll see Norton in Secret Wars for a bit of a goodbye, or he'll just get stomped on or something.
Yeah, get out of my swamp.
But yeah, Betty Ross back. That's that's
It's
long
cool.
overdue.
It was unexpected, yeah.
And now
Overdue.
with Black Widow gone, it's
another film.
a comic love
female
interest
hero.
for Bruce Banner. So
True, yes.
more true to the comics, because
More romance.
a lot of people didn't like the Black Widow thing of she's making her way through the team. It's like,
it
no,
did kind of feel a bit, because that weren't a thing in the comics. That was just an original thing for the films.
I think sometimes it's been a thing, but
Really?
like
Well,
not
I know-
like a main thing.
but it's been there.
'Cause,
okay.
Like her most, her biggest relationship in the comics was with Hawkeye. I believe.
I wanted to say Daredevil as well. I know
She's had a fling with Daredevil. She's had a fling with Cap,
Yeah.
which obviously they allude to in Winter
The
Soldier.
Hmm.
Yes. What else in the Marvel world? I think that's it, really. But in terms of Disney itself, there was a Disney Plus Indiana Jones series in the works,
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't feel shocked by that, to be honest.
but
No more.
Disney has reportedly told Lucasfilm that they have to focus solely on Star Wars content going forward. This comes after the cancellation / uncancellation / oh no, it definitely is cancelled of Willow.
Right.
So Willow
yeah,
was reportedly
the
cancelled after
season.
one season,
Yeah.
but then there was reports that, oh no, it's not, like it's going to carry on, and seemingly it's come out and gone, oh no, it is over. It's like, oh,
I thought we did decent enough, Willow. Not that I watched it. I haven't seen the film. I don't have any nostalgia.
I'd watched the film because it was never a film in my era.
Yeah, exactly.
Lara was a big
yeah.
fan of it, and we watched, like, she was like, we should actually watch it, and then we was going to watch the show, and it kind of just dropped and we missed it because it had Flag Smasher from Falcon and Winter Soldier in it.
Yeah. I can't think.
Carly Morgenthau was the character's name. I forget the actress's name, but she's very good. And obviously it's Warwick Davis. We love Warwick Davis, but I think it's a bit stupid to just be like, yes, Star Wars stuff, because then
it's sole purpose, sole narrative, and that's going to run out quick.
because we've had Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Andor,
yeah.
Kenobi. We're getting Ahsoka. Rangers of the New
Yes.
Republic, I think, is being rejigged for something else.
The Wrecking Crew, is it the Skeleton Crew? The Wrecking
Skeleton Crew
something like
is
that?
the John Watts
thing.
Is
That's
that a
still
series still?
I think it is a series.
You've obviously got Jedi Tales. You've got Visions.
Yeah, right. Yeah, more of that. Yeah.
The Clone Wars final season, Bad Batch. Season 2 started, hasn't it?
I feel like it has. Season
Yes.
2 came out. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got all this stuff. Like, there's room for an Indiana Jones.
One-off thing series throwback.
Like, if
Link to the film.
If Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character is going to be a mainstay, and you want to do sort of continuation / spin-off thing with her, then I'm in for that.
Do it. Yeah.
Like, I think Willow showed that they were. Like, I think Willow, they've learned the wrong lessons from. It's like, see, this doesn't work. All we want is Star Wars content. It's like, not necessarily.
Not particularly. No.
Like, there's a world where, like, Indiana Jones and Star Wars can coexist, and I think,
Definitely.
had Willow gone down well, it could have gone on for a good few seasons.
Yeah.
Like,
Because that's one that never got rebooted, never had a sequel film. That was just kind of the one and done
yeah,
cult classic of the time.
yeah, and it was
only now
very
came
popular
back.
because it was low budget. It got like you say, a cult following upon like home media and like second release. So it's like, why wouldn't you?
And why wait so long? Make a big thing of it coming out, which rightfully so. People that were fans of that cult film, of course, you're going to be excited about it. And then, I mean, I didn't pay attention to any ratings and figures, and obviously that's all different because it's all streaming, and you can watch it whenever you want now. But I felt like, from what I read and scores, I felt like it did well enough to warrant a
Something.
continuation. So the fact that it did get cancelled, I was a bit put off by and shocked. Really.
I would still want to check it out and finish it
Yeah.
just to see, like, it can't be as bad as Class. So
No.
no. Speaking of
Class was not in
Class,
session.
should we talk briefly about Doctor Who?
Doctor Who.
Doctor
Who.
Still nothing. Still, it's not on. Nothing's
That's it.
happened.
No.
Did you watch the Red Nose Day?
I didn't know.
Lenny Henry regenerates into David Tennant.
No, I didn't.
And now there's a 1 in 6 chance that a Time Lord regenerates
yeah.
into David Tennant because the amount of times that it's been David Tennant. But I did a funny tweet because someone like did something of like, even this one's regenerated to David Tennant. I was just like, we're all David Tennant in the end.
We're all David Tennant.
Everyone is David Tennant.
Maybe that's what happens at the end.
But in terms of David Tennant,
In terms
Good
of
Omens season 2, I believe, has added his father-in-law Peter Davison to the cast,
Oh, very nice.
and his son Ty
Ty
Tennant.
Tennant. Oh, very nice. Yeah.
So a family affair, it seems. I love
A family omens.
I love Good Omens season 1. I really look forward to Good Omens season 2. I hope it gets more of an actual air thing, because the BBC paid to air it as well. Like, it was kind of a slight co-production / they had the broadcasting rights in the UK, so it was like, but it was broadcast like quite a bit after it'd been out on Amazon. Like, whereas like you'd want it out on the day to at least draw people to come and watch it on here. Like, see, you don't have to watch it, see, on the Amazon, see.
Yeah.
But I look forward to that. I look forward to more David Tennant as the Doctor, because do you know what? I really hope that, you know, Ncuti Gatwa breaks the trend of doing 3 series, and a lot of people.
Oh,
said,
100%. Yeah.
A lot of people have said, I think he will by doing 2. And a lot of people have said, yeah, I kind of worry about the fact that, you know, he's got Barbie coming out. His star's risen with Sex Education.
Sex Education, yeah.
Started getting roles in movies, and then has got Doctor Who. Like, unless they step up and keep up that same thing, they might struggle to keep hold of him. Which you kind of go like, oh yeah, that kind of is a possibility now.
A point, yeah.
Yeah. But I hope we get at least 3 out of him. At least the Doctor thing of
the norm.
You know, the 3.
Yeah, the norm.
But I would really like someone to do a John Pertwee and do like, I'm not doing quite as much as Tom, but I'm doing slightly less. Because people forget he did 5 seasons, and like,
I mean, yeah, 5 seasons, yeah. Pertwee.
Because what you had,
legend.
So you had 3, 5, 7,
7, yeah.
3, technically 2.
Yeah, technically 2.
That was a fucking stretch.
Yeah.
3, 1 television movie. 1. 3 and the 4th year of specials.
3.5. Yeah.
Same with Matt.
Yeah.
Same with Peter, because they just didn't have it on for a year.
2016. So yeah. R.I.P.
Same with Jodie. She had 3, but a thing of specials, but it was over like 5
years. Yeah, that's bad.
I want a series. If we got a series of him every year and got 3 series out of him,
yes,
then yes,
damn straight.
At least that's the minimum for me.
It's
a few
consistent.
specials. And then do the right thing and cast Tania Miller or Lydia West as the next Doctor. You know, let's have it right. Because Neil Patrick Harris has been talking, I don't remember what podcast it was, about how when he was approached to sort of be in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he said, like, obviously he'd worked on what was it?
Matrix.
It's a Sin with with Russell. And
I forgot he was in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot he was in that.
Brief but lovely part. He plays it well, and like he basically got an email out of the blue from Russell saying, "Look, I'm doing this. I'm coming back to it. I've got this part that I think you'd be really interested in." And Neil Patrick Harris is like, I read it and I was like, I
love it.
Delicious.
Give me more.
Yeah, and it's nice that sort of he's got his regulars that he contributes with, but also sort of slowly reached out, and there's just so many people all over the world that are just, because of his work on Doctor Who, have gone, Russell T Davies is a great writer that if his name's on it, I will at the very least read it and probably accept it.
Consider it, accept it, yes. Yes.
But I talk about Doctor Who because Rachel Talalay in Doctor Who magazine 589 was talking about the new TARDIS.
Oh.
So she said, for 4 months watching it being built, my DP and I were having all these conversations about how to light the wall roundels. A bit of a continuation and thing, and then later on says, in the last couple of days of my contract, we were finally able to get on there, and it is just amazing. So, is it the white clinical one? Probably.
Clinical. Yeah.
But I can't wait for Rachel Talalay to direct David Tennant in a Russell T Davies script.
Dream team, yeah. Dream deal.
And then have Matt and fucking Peter somewhere. Or at least,
it.
like, at some point they've got to come back.
Oh, 100%. They do.
Like, if it's just that one. Oh, I don't know, but then it's maybe a new way of doing it, of it's, you know, a doctor having an old face, so that's how you get, it's a new doctor, but you're looking back on the past. And we all know why David Tennant was cast, because general audience-wise,
has
the
plummeted.
easiest one. He's the easiest one to bring people back to go, oh, David Tennant's doing it. I used to love it when he was a Doctor. I'll watch this one.
I'll watch this one, yeah.
And because, there was, 3 and a bit months where Ncuti Gatwa was like, yeah, I'm doing Sex Education season 4, so I can't do Doctor Who yet. And Russell was like, I really want him to do it. So this is how I'll bridge.
God damn
This
it.
is how I'll bridge the gap. I'll bring David back and have one last victory lap.
Yeah.
But
Which we're all fine with.
speaking of victory laps, so Shazam we kind of touched upon last week.
Oh boy, yeah, it should be some sort of a decent pow. It should go out fighting, but I don't feel like it's got the chance, and it ain't hitting enough.
And I think the fatigue of why care about this when we don't know what's happening is a lot to do with it.
No one does know. Yeah,
but
no
it
one
seems
knows
like two films that intrinsically linked by their characters couldn't have
Yes.
distanced themselves further apart.
Oh, great.
With the reports that we kind of alluded to that we're talking about more this week in terms of the post-credit scenes for Black Adam and Shazam. It seems Dwayne Johnson had the thing of,
he had creative
Yes.
control. He had input.
because Seven Bucks Productions was part of Black Adam.
Black Adam. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And they're the ones that pushed for Superman before they knew what was going on with Henry Cavill Superman. He refused Zachary Levi a cameo in Shazam, even though Black Adam is Shazam's main villain.
Arch nemesis,
Yes.
not a fucking caterpillar.
He
Mr. Mind.
stopped Hawkman from appearing in the Shazam one. Was that true?
I didn't hear about that. I just thought he wasn't appearing in
So they wanted
No.
like members of the
the
JSA,
JSA in
in the Shazam
in the
when he
Shazam
gets
one.
obviously he gets recruited into the JSA on the characters from Peacemaker on behalf of Waller.
on behalf of Waller. Yeah.
But it was Hawkman was going to be in it, and there was I forget which the other one, but like Dwayne Johnson was like no because obviously they were in our movie, and
They're
then
attached to me.
he turned down the opportunity to cameo in Shazam.
He did
and
turn it
have
down.
Shazam cameo in Black Adam, even though if you're not at the very least in terms of the universe going to have Shazam and
Acknowledgement.
Black Adam cross paths and then have Superman for some reason be his end goal.
Yeah. It didn't really make
Fine.
sense.
But yeah, they kind of, which is then effectively, as a lot of people said, it's stunted 2 films
Rather than just the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you've
Selfishly
dragged down a film you're not working on by not
acknowledging each other.
collaborating,
Yeah.
which is a great shame because I think had the DCU any sort of gumption or leader from the beginning, this kind of stuff wouldn't have happened.
Someone would have got in that border and gone, Rock, you need to pipe down your ego.
Surely, if you want to be the main guy, you're
The
you're
guy, the
cameoing.
people's champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're cameoing in
Left
Flash,
things left, right, and centre.
Aquaman, like this.
You're going to
that.
be like the Nick Fury of the, I'm just going to turn it wherever I want because I can. Like,
Yeah, you want to be the guy that's he's in Black Adam. Like, I
the
remember
face that's going to change the tide of the DC
Yeah.
universe.
Yeah. the hierarchy of power.
The hierarchy of power, that's
in
right,
the DC
yeah.
universe is about change because I've been sacked and there's
I'm not letting no one else do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which everything that comes out about because after that, it's the Comic-Con video from 2022 sort of did the rounds on Twitter where it's Zachary Levi and Dwayne Johnson having a conversation, and it's like this clip is so much funnier now with context. Zachary Levi has like since gone to Instagram for people that have talked about this and gone, yeah, basically without saying yes, has basically said that everything about Dwayne Johnson doing that is true. He's talked about how he's kind of gone on a bit of a route. I don't know if it's because he's been on the Joe Rogan podcast and agreed with some very poor choices of political faces in America, and his association with being an anti-vaxxer in the last few months of build up to the the film's release when doing the press stuff has put some people off him as well. I know, like Chris Johnson of Big Damn Cast is like, I was looking forward to Shazam, and then Zachary Levi opened his mouth, and it's
Awkward. Yeah.
because I've always enjoyed Zachary Levi stuff. Like I like him in Chuck. Like I really dig that series.
We need to watch Chuck. Yeah.
And he's always kind of had a bit of a hard luck in terms of his career, sort of pushing onwards. Like he was rejected for a few things.
He's a fighter, like his character. He's a fighter.
Yeah, he finally got the part of Fandral in Thor: The Dark World after Josh Dallas moved
Who?
on, and then killed off instantly, without warning,
Who?
and then was suddenly up against it, and then got Shazam, and then like the DC stuff's changing, and then he's kind of, you
now
know, I
kind
don't know
of-
whether he's coming or going. He's gone on
Yeah,
rants
you
of
don't.
like, you know, yeah, by all means go and see John Wick 4, but you know, John Wick's not a family film like Shazam: Fury of the Gods is a
Is.
family film, and it's like, okay, but also yeah, he's
shots of desperation in a
and
way.
he was in the same video stuff like later on. He's talked about how like, you know, we tried desperately hard for Henry Cavill to be in Shazam 1. Like, I really wanted that to happen. We couldn't make it happen. It's through no fault of anyone else's. It just was a contractual and timing thing.
Yeah.
And maybe the subtle thing from executives to try and push Cavill out the way, possibly.
Right. Mm.
But yeah, it all just screams of a big heaping mess. And David F. Sandberger said, like, after Shazam 2 and the poor sort of reception that's been aimed at him a lot, he's kind of said, yeah, I'm done with superhero stuff for a while, which is understandable, but also a shame, because I think Shazam, and from what I have seen of Shazam: Fury of the Gods, are still great looking films and well put together. So, we shall see how that turns out in terms of the future, because we know that, you know, the DC stuff is going to be a major talking point for us in years to come,
weeks, months, this year as well to come. Yes.
And before, just the last thing before you talk about John Wick in spoiler-free detail is Justin Roiland was facing multiple charges for domestic violence and assault and things like that, and he's apparently been cleared of those charges. Does that mean he didn't do them? You know, possibly not, because you can, with enough money, you can make things just go away.
Bribery.
But I think he's not been reinstated to Squanch Games and, you know, the production companies associated with, because the next season of Rick and Morty, I believe, is to continue without him.
Okay. Fair enough.
And it'll be nice that, you know, to possibly, because, you know, I've heard people say, like, having two separate actors play Rick and Morty means we can actually have some, you know, conversation and some back and forth if they can record together.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So we will see how that goes. That's another thing that we can only get back to you as and when we possibly see or hear about that stuff. But until then, how about the Baba Yaga, the bogeyman himself?
The Baba Yaga chapter.
Tell me, Don Connor. Tell me, Andros. What of
Andros Wick? Yeah.
John Wick?
Bang.
Chapter 4. In as spoiler-free details as you can.
As much as I can. The return trip to the Continental. But not the one that you think of.
Ew, mince. Meat.
Mince. No, mince. What? Well, I don't know. You go down a movie, you've seen plenty of sequels. You'll never be as good as the original, they say. You'll never be as good as the second one. Shrek 2 might be better than Shrek 1. That's a random argument.
Very few sequels are better than the original.
But particularly the fourth movie in a franchise. I mean, what franchises would you say? Again, we've discussed this off camera, but like a fourth movie in any franchise. I know you can count franchises that have hence had like 5th, 6th, 7th movies and whatever. But what movie would you say the number 4 movie is the best?
Technically Star Wars, if you count episode 4 as the fourth one, even though it was the first one.
Yeah, technically New Hope.
Phantom Menace is not the best.
Definitely not.
It's not the worst. So, Rocky went on like a bit of a thing with, you know, numbers, and the fourth one's okay. Toy Story 4 is good but unnecessary. Because there's not a lot of animation film. There's not a lot, because there used to be the joke of like films would go up like you just keep making sequels. Like Jaws 4 is not great.
Yeah, from what I've heard, atrocious.
I mean, if they make a fourth Creed movie, it'll probably be great.
That I can agree on. Yeah.
Technically, the Planet of the Apes stuff, like you count the original stuff, and by all
the
accounts,
fourth one's in development. Hasn't come out yet.
Kingdom
but
of the Planet of the Apes is going to be good as well. James Bond got no Goldfinger's the third.
You're talking about Thunderball. That's not one of my favourites.
Thunderball's okay.
He's fine.
Or Spectre's, if you're going the Daniel Craig route, Spectre's shit.
Yeah, so not the best example.
Avengers 4, but that's less of a direct franchise.
Yeah, that's a sub.
So much stuff happens in between.
Yeah, it's a sub.
I mean, Captain America 4 might be good. Thor 4 was not.
That definitely wasn't.
Spider-Man 4 would have been great.
That was technically Amazing Spider-Man.
Technically.
Which is fine. I think Amazing Spider-Man's fine.
I don't know. It's all yeah. There isn't. I get what you're saying. It's either the third one's normally bad, or
And then they
anything
reboot,
beyond
yeah.
the trilogy is kind of bad, or a reboot. See Batman and Robin.
Right, that one again is definitely not in contention with John Wick Chapter 4. But alas, John Wick Chapter 4, if you've seen the internet, if you've seen the scores, if you've seen any positivity regarding the movie, but sort of believe what you're reading and believe what you're hearing, because I just think this movie was fucking awesome. And personally, for those that have stuck around with the channel, I keep track of our films. The fact that me and George both can keep track of what we watch is impressive in ourselves. But George finds it easy to rank things and number things and have his calendar sorted out by June. Me, on the other hand,
Well, no, because I did. So you watch them.
I watch them. I remember what I've watched, but I
Yeah.
can't then watch it 10 times already and say.
But I do
like,
mine in a rough one, so that like if it's
Fine,
a
yeah,
streaming
rough,
film,
yeah.
I can watch it again, or when it comes out on thing,
On
then I
home
can
media.
rewatch it, and it might sort of shift the numbers a
sway,
bit.
sway and
At
swindle.
the moment, I've seen
yeah.
like 15 films, so I'm not doing bad. Considering
No,
last year, I think I saw like 26.
Right, yeah.
I want to try and beat that. I want to get at least 30.
You want to get? I'm rooting for you.
Can I just say,
rooting for
the Luther film?
I've heard solid things about it from
Surprisingly
people
good.
at work.
Have
yeah.
you watched the series?
I've only seen series 1 with Paul McCann.
Paul McJan. He
McJan,
makes
yeah.
a special guest appearance in series 2. So
Oh, I thought you were saying the film.
I wish he did.
Oh,
Because
shame.
obviously when they sorry briefly on Luther.
Yeah, diverge as
so
always.
Luther was is one of the few things that Idris Elba has always said. I will come back and do more Luther. Like when, where, tell
when,
me, I
everywhere.
will do it.
Tell me I'll do it, yeah.
Because we've had 3 fantastic series. Had a bit of like a full mini series that was too short, and then
Too
we had
short.
series 5 that was kind of back to the old way of like, oh, this is quite good, but it was 4 episodes instead of 6.
Oh,
That was
dear.
the standard
okay.
for Luther.
Mm.
Whereas like series 4 was like 2 episodes, so it was like there's
What's the point?
Yes.
Yeah. What's the point?
and there was talk of a movie for a long time, especially with Warren Brown's character.
Very long time, yeah.
One of the favourites of the series. And in order to have his character be involved, there was talks of setting it, back in like John's past, or like between, like in the series 1 to 3 bracket kind of thing.
Okay, fine. No.
This is the film Luther the Fallen Son, or just stylized in the title sequence is just Luther.
Okay.
So I'm guessing Fallen Son for British audiences, or just for a more general
Yeah,
audience. It's just
I've seen it
Luther,
on
the
Netflix
movie.
as The Fallen Son.
Yeah.
Mm.
That is the title, but on screen when it does
It's just
it's
Luther.
just Luther.
So where is this set chronologically? Is
It's
it
set
after everything?
It's
or
set
between?
after series 5.
Oh, right, okay.
We have a returning character that I know of,
Okay, fine.
as in like the main boss. Like he has
Uh-huh.
a brief thing in it. The second boss, Martin Schenk, is that the actor's name or the character's name? I don't remember. But not the boss from series 1, because he turned out to be evil, if we all remember.
Great. Evil.
Evil. But
Hired by the Continental.
But yeah, he it's set after them. There's Andy Serkis is great in it. It's a scaled up. It's essentially like a Bond film with Idris Elba
Bond.
playing,
That's the comparisons
Like,
I heard. Yeah, it's a Bond film.
which, as a lot of people, including Josh Carr of Who Knew, said, like they've missed the point. They should have done him as like Batman, because Luther gives the vibe of he is, a vigilante doing, sometimes not the right thing, but he's doing it for the right reasons.
Right.
And, London is depicted in a very Gotham-ish way, so it should have been like a Batman film.
British Batman.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But very good, and it's near the tippity top at the moment. So,
Fair
and I
play.
really did enjoy it. And I'd been rewatching the series to watch it. I will finish rewatching the series because the series is great, and I implore you to do it.
Yeah.
You can watch it with or without. Maybe watch it and then rewatch the series,
yeah.
and then watch it again, and you might get something
Because
different each time.
I have technically dabbled in with the series, but I'm not at that point where I'm like, oh, I know enough of the series where I can't commit. I can opt out, forget that I've seen series 1, and just kind of go in, because I can't remember much of series 1 anyway. But that's
Yeah.
not me bashing
So
it.
yeah, you could go in blind and
Yeah.
get just as much out of it.
Semi-blind and just watch it. Yeah.
But not as blind as you will need to be to watch John Wick
Chapter 4. Unless you meet Donnie Yen's character, where he does play basically a blind ninja in this movie. For the second time, after Rogue One.
Mm.
And in like that movie, he's fucking great in it.
I like Donnie Yen.
He's amazing in
Johnny
it.
Yen's great and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. What can
Give
I
us your
say?
spoiler-free thoughts, because I will try and see this before next week, because I'm due the opportunity to go and see
Partay.
it. Yes,
Partay in the cinema.
partay.
Partay. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Next week's my birthday, so hopefully, like, I'm off most of the week, so
Okay. Cool.
hopefully I can have some spare time, conjure it up, and I can see it before next week.
Mm.
Urgh.
Oh dear. Ooh.
Madam.
Madam. So again, following on immediately from number 3, the whole "Are you pissed, John?" Yeah.
Oh, is that where it picks up from?
Not that very scene, but it literally
Damn
could
it.
be the next corridor. It could be next
like
week.
a couple of weeks later.
It begins
or a
in
day.
4DX. It begins with
You saw it in
a
4D.
punch.
Oh, beautiful.
You felt every boom and thud in the chair, and you're like, what the fuck's going on here? You think you're watching Creed. And essentially John is in like rehabilitation with Lawrence Fishburne's Bowery King.
Uh-huh.
And essentially they're readying up for what they've got to do next, following on from number 3, and that is hunt down the Continental, give the High Table a visit, and kill every motherfucker in the room.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially their plan. So in order to do that, somehow down the line, John goes international in this movie. Not just once, he does it maybe 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
This movie goes all big on location. And essentially, like, in a very... I am kind of half reading a plot synopsis, but trying to summarise what happens. He essentially kills... Well, I'll give the character name. The Elder. The one who sits above the table.
Mm-hmm.
So very early on, you think John has kind of... Not done himself. He hasn't done it all, but he thinks... He's got high up on the high table. Who are they going to replace? Enter Pennywise, the dancing Marquise Frenchman himself. Bill Skarsgård is our main villain. He is essentially the highest ranking member of the high table so far, and that we might meet going forward.
Yeah.
The Marquise Vincent de Grabon, a senior member of the high table. We see him with Winston and Lance Reddick's character, Charon, however you pronounce it, but CH,
Yeah.
Charon, I'll call him Charon. For the last time, R.I.P. And essentially, he doesn't prove that he's a clown like he was in a certain Stephen King property. This guy means business, and he's going to kill people left, right, and centre.
Mm-hmm.
And lives are on the line in this movie. Feelings are brought up. People fucking die in this. I'm surprised this isn't rated 18. I think it's still a 15. I think the age rating is 15 for the first one. Second one is an 18, but I can't necessarily think why, apart from like the brief nudity scene. I think that might be the slight reason that one's an 18. But they're all 15s. This one's a 15. But there's a lot more than nudity in this that makes it... I think it personally should have been an 18. But regardless, box office, getting people in to see the film, the more the merrier, I suppose. But no, Bill Skarsgård's Marquise does not fuck around in this movie. He puts lives on the line, people get hurt, and, the high table, when they say something, they're gonna fucking do it. But he's kind of the background player. If anything, I feel like is my only nitpick. I feel like we didn't get to know to the full extent of this Marquise character, Bill Skarsgård himself. He's the background player, but like in terms of the franchise, he is the highest ranking member of the table, and he is kind of like the final boss so far of this franchise. But essentially, he means business. He hurts Winston badly. He hurts Charon badly, and he means business. But essentially, maybe Winston knows what it's like to be excommunicado.
Yeah.
If any of you have seen the films, you'll know what I mean by that term, especially by number 3. Excommunicado and Continental, all these words will stick by you. But essentially, Winston becomes excommunicado.
Yeah.
The Continental, as you know it, changes. And
Dear.
fatalities are done. But regardless, Pennywise himself then hires an old friend of John Mr. Wick. His name is Kane, but really his name's Donnie Yen. But he's a blind retired assassin like Mr. Wick, and essentially he has to kill him in order to save his daughter's life.
Mm-hmm.
So Donnie Yen is kind of being forced against Bill Skarsgård's will to fulfill the contract, which goes up every 20 minutes in this film, because I think it ended, I want to say 70 million in the end of John Wick 3. This hits, by the end of this movie, it goes up to like 400 million.
Jesus Christ.
So the open hunted contract from number 3 carries over into this, because I'm assuming that they are set shortly after each other.
Yeah.
Like maybe a day or two, like a week.
Well, yeah, because 3's like the same.
Immediately after
after 2.
Because John Wick runs at the end in daylight in the park, and then John Wick, when you see Wick, he's running.
They're calling the contract in, aren't they?
Yeah, so that they are like immediately, whereas number 4 must be like, a fortnight later, a week later at best, for John to heal up. But essentially, Donnie Yen then has to kill Mr. Wick for good. But will he? John takes refuge at the Osaka Continental.
Oh, okay.
So we go to Japan, where we run.
Somewhere we don't really go to in a lot of mainstream franchise movies these days.
No, but Japan, Osaka, run by his old friend, Shimazu Koji, better known as Hiroyuki Sanada.
Yes.
Legendary actor who's been in various, well, I can't list all of his stuff, but various things. Mortal Kombat, Scorpion, for those that want to be semi-recent. But again, any older viewers that may or may know that name, if we can insert an image, Michael, if you're here, you want to insert an image on our screen or Photoshop, feel free. Legendary actor, but he's in this and he means business as well. But he's there for Mr. Wick and he's there to help him. Essentially, no, you again, like John Wick 3, you can't trust anyone in these movies. Everyone you see in the hotel might be eyeing Mr. Wick for the wrong reasons, and fighting definitely ensues. And whereas I feel like the sequences in 2 and 3 are kind of, they don't feel timed, but where it's like this sequence is going to last roughly like 15 minutes. This one may the last one's going to last like half an hour. The first big major fight sequence all in the first hour. I'll shit you not. The big first act sequence lasts about 35 minutes. Yeah. And this is like one big fight in the Osaka Continental. It lasts not too long. I think it lasts pretty damn good. But you get each character's motivations. Like, some are there to help Mr. Wick. Some get tempted by the money and the freedom of the Continental. And, loyalties are tested, to say the least. And the audience, you feel shifted. You don't know how you feel about one character. Do you feel about the other? Do you want John to win? Do you want Donnie to win? Do you want new characters in the form of Mr. Nobody? And no, I'm not talking about Jared Leto. I'm talking about Shamir Anderson, who was another actor who I hadn't known before this film. But goddamn, Mr. Nobody, Shamir Anderson, you can carry a spin-off movie by yourself, mate. You're incredible. Shamir Anderson, didn't know this. Listed as Blue Marvel.
Oh.
So we're going to see a lot of him for us mainstream audiences, nerdy, geeky audiences. Didn't know that. Yeah, so it's a bit of a free-for-all in the Osaka Continental. Who wins? Who dies? Because people do definitely die in this. Just awesome. The first hour is literally just them in Japan fighting, fucking up shit. Like Mike said in his review of John Wick 1, the franchise is kind of known for its gun-fu in its action, its combat.
Yeah. Because
of the setting, you do see various bits of weapon play, whereas in the form of katanas, nunchucks, and even like another form of weaponry, which I won't go into because that's spoilery as well.
Yes.
But you appropriately, the combat changes, and it's very good to see. And again, these sequences just continue to outdo themselves and improve and just do things differently. Mm-hmm. And this is movie number 4. You think you've seen it all, but they just do it differently. Oh. No, just I don't know. It just I wasn't expecting particularly this shit. Particularly where some of the fights, they don't make John Wick OP. They don't make him kill people like they do in the previous ones. Like, he does. He gets hurt quite a bit. He struggles quite a bit. He misses quite a bit as well. But essentially, it's, I don't know. I will say the most realism in the hand-to-hand shot fighting sequences. When you get to the back half of the movie, realism kind of goes out the window a little bit, but it's still pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But essentially, once the movie goes out of Osaka, they then go on another road trip. They go back to New York for plot reasons, which I won't get into. Yeah. But then Berlin is in this movie.
Oh, do we see the Berlin Continental?
No. No, but you get more backstory. This is kind of like the backstory half of the movie. And you see Tonks from the Order of the Phoenix in the movie as someone important to John's past.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't say who she is or who she will be.
Mm-hmm.
They run around in Berlin for a bit. Then they go back to New York. But then they go to Paris for the back half of the movie. The last hour and a half of the movie.
So a bit globetrotty, sort of James Bond levels of
yeah,
adventures out there.
Set piece, not set piecey, but it does feel very much like here, then you're there, then you end up basically in front of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, okay.
Up what I call the Rocky Steps.
Yeah.
Sort of overlooking the whole of Paris itself.
Yeah.
But there's and that's where the Paris stuff, I feel like it was just completely speechless. Essentially, you get two standout sequences where Fast and Furious is known for its cars. It's known for its high speed and high velocity and roads. Of course, they drive on roads. Well, I feel like this movie is has two of the most ridiculous sequences ever shot on film. Regardless if it's all CG, it's some practical, whatever. You know, I'm not an expert at knowing what's real and what's not because it looks so goddamn convincing. But how the fuck can someone fight in the middle of the road with an ensuing amount of cars and vehicles everywhere and oncoming traffic, yet they pull it off? Cars left, right and centre, traffic swerving all around them, in the middle of Paris, just having the most ridiculous fights. You think people get run over? Yes. People get shot? Yes. People get stabbed? Yes. But do people get thrown through fucking car bonnets and roofs and whilst moving on a car? Well, this movie kind of gives it to you. It's just that car sequence kind of completely took out the realism. But at that point, I was just too speechless and too breathtaking, just in awe of what I was watching to even acknowledge what was happening. But then the plot kicks in. John's got to be somewhere at the very end of the movie, and he has 3 minutes to do it. But he has to climb up 221 steps in 3 minutes.
Oh dear.
And that's where, at that point, every single person is after him. Man, woman, child, friend, former friend, ally, foe, everyone's after him at this point. The whole Paris knows who he is. The contract goes up to over $400 million, and he's a wanted man for good. Let's just say it takes a lot more than 3 minutes. Again, which adds to the non-realism of the plot. But you're not watching it for that. You are just there to see him kick some ass.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, again, without spoiling it, it kind of ends on a Western note. It ends on a bit of a Western note. Western-ish, very Western-inspired sequence. The story definitely concludes for Mr. Wick.
Mm-hmm.
And the future, I'd say, looks very bright, but just is still, at this very time of recording, unclear as in the sense of Keanu or other characters. Because I feel like every other character in this movie, whether you're talking about Mr. Nobody, Hiroyuki Sanada's daughter, who I forgot to mention in the Osaka period of the movie, isn't in the rest of it, but she is like the post-credit tease. But I won't say what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if anything, they're the one that they're going to focus on. Obviously, you got Ballerina, Ana de Armas. How does she fit into all of this? Whether her prequel movie matters going forward as such, we won't know. Again, Mr. Nobody, Shamir. I definitely want to see more of him. Regardless of his fate of the film. Same for Donnie Yen. Does he make it out alive? I mean, he does Charlie Cox. Charlie Cox looks like light work compared to what Donnie Yen does in this movie. But this is for the second time around, because it didn't occur to me that it was Galen from Rogue One. It just didn't occur to me that it was him. I just thought, whoever this actor is, he's phenomenal, and he's out doing Charlie Cox. But I don't know. Everything I've heard about John Wick 4, I didn't go in. I don't see. I feel like I did watch the trailer for John Wick 4, but I purposely kind of forgot it. I'd seen John Wick all week, so at this point I wasn't fatigued, but I definitely knew what I was in for. But regardless, movie number 4, he just completely changes it up and just did things I wasn't expecting. All of it not being boring. There's, for me, no pacing issues. I just feel like this movie was a real treat, and it just felt special. And pretty goddamn consistent, and ends on a high note at this point.
So we should briefly talk about the future, because I know before Keanu Reeves had said, I'll keep making them as long as they're successful.
God damn it. Yeah.
So in 2020, Lionsgate CEO John Feltheimer had confirmed a fifth film was being developed alongside 4.
Mm.
There was initially a plan to shoot them back to back. With the fourth instalment in 2021, Lionsgate opted to delay production and solely move forward, concentrating on Chapter 4. 2019, Reeves stated that he would continue making sequels as long as the film was successful. Steletsky later said that there are no plans for an immediate sequel, stating that in our minds, Keanu and I are done for the moment. We're going to give John Wick a rest. I'm sure that the studio has a plan, and if everyone loves it and it goes kooky, then we'll have to just take a quiet minute and then come back.
Yeah.
A potential fifth film is no longer on the table at this current time.
Yeah.
Zelensky has said that the reason him and Reeves abandoned plans for a sequel was his skepticism over his ability to deliver two completely unique special experiences.
Fair play, yeah.
Lionsgate initially demurmured this duo's plans to retire the character. Despite the it doesn't go into details, but it says despite the conclusion of Chapter 4, Lionsgate president Joe Drake hinted the possibility of the fifth film is still on the table and up for discussion due to the unforeseen level of commercial success of Chapter 4.
Yes.
Obviously, like you previously said, Ballerina is in development. Reeves and McShane will reprise their respective roles as Wick and Winston in the upcoming film.
As a update as of today, it's got a spring to summer 2024 release slate at the minute. It doesn't have an exact date.
That's fine. We don't need it this year. Have a little bit of a break.
Oh no, it wouldn't be this year anyway.
It's set between Chapter 3 and 4. I don't know if we previously had that confirmed.
I'm not too sure. I just knew it was happening.
As well, the in development series The Continental, which will feature younger versions of several John Wick characters. Like you said, that's due to be released September this year.
Yeah, which I wasn't aware of. I read that earlier today.
And Donnie Yen has expressed interest in the spin-off centered on Kane. All of those, yeah, because judging by the sound of the pretty finite ending, as you've said it, we shall see how, obviously, money talks, and I doubt Keanu would go from I'm gonna make fucking millions of them, 100 more years, JohnWick.com, to like I won't do it. I'm pretty sure there could be a way to do something if it's at least a prequel thing that he's involved in. Maybe not necessarily, like you said, the main series seems done at the moment. Yeah. But obviously, it's making shitloads of money, so Lionsgate don't really have a franchise apart from this one. So
they don't. That's the thing. I feel like they don't. Lionsgate don't.
But we shall see how that all goes later on. But yeah, thanks for that, Connor. Check out Connor's review on Letterboxd.
Yes, it will be hopefully up by the time the video comes out, and I may have posted some couple personal favourites, and then once my Letterboxd will keep going, and once my inbox keeps flowing, then it won't stop.
So
you'll get mail every time.
So Connor's going to be doing like
just
his proper like big Letterboxd reviews.
Yeah,
probably get
essay reviews.
Probably get like his general thoughts as well as mine on films on TikTok, and some other more longer form stuff will be on the YouTube, obviously. But you can find us all at
Pacey Sheep across all the social platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, especially once we really do stuff. And me, I guess, I can't remember my account name. Quilly6298 on Letterboxd. If you really want to keep in touch, if you
want Connor's thoughts,
if
they happen.
If you're sick of my voice but you want to read, then do so. Once I get going on it.
And you can send an electronic mail for some collaborative conversation.
From collaborative conversation to nerdbiblecontact@gmail.com.
And as always, thank you everyone for listening and absorbing us every week, and we will see you again next time.
Alright, nice one. Nice one.